Hello, and welcome to another edition of DooM WAD Travelogue. As always, I'm Nick, and this is a show where we say just because it's not a great idea to leave the house right now doesn't mean that we can't explore new and interesting spaces. We'll just do it in the form of community-created Doom levels. Is that how the intro goes? I think so. I'm a little off today because I have some special news to talk about. So I have signed up to do the... I don't know how that's going to show up on camera. Ooh, yeah, right there. It's super out of focus, but I signed up to do Extra Life this year. For those of you who may or may not know, Extra Life is basically it's a community event where people can sign up and basically do their own charity live stream marathons where they play games for 24 hours to raise money for children's hospitals. It's all, all the proceeds are donated. It goes to my local hospital, which is here in New York. I think you can find out more about it on my page. If you're watching this on Twitch, I don't think I have the info up there yet, but if you're watching this on the YouTube archive, I'll put a link below to my donor page. You can find out more, and you can be ready for when the event comes. The event itself this year, I'm doing it November 7th and 8th. When did you get so close? November 7th and 8th is a Saturday and Sunday. I'm going to go from noon to midnight both days, so 2 12-hour shifts, because if I don't sleep, I go to a bad place. So, we'll make it work. So show up for that. I'm excited for it. I hope you are too. That being said, today's episode for the standard business that we usually do here, I have not too long ago we did the Maronio. That ain't it. We did 6 Golden Souls, which was cool, and 6 Golden Souls 2 is somewhere in our future. But as much as I'm interested to get to that, I found something in a similar vein, but different enough that I saw it and I said, oh, we got to try this. Because somebody went and did a Castlevania version by Bad Andy, who I don't know if they were the sole contributor. They definitely had help from other people. But that's a name that we know from some of the mods. That's definitely familiar. Wait, is that the Golden Souls guy? You know what? I don't know. I don't have a good memory for people and authors and such things. But so I'm excited for this. So let's get into it. It might help if I had the game running. What do we think? Do we think that'd be useful, folks? Listen, I only just finished my coffee. It's been kind of a day. We're running a little late here today because I had some errands I had to run right before. There we go. Okay, I didn't even push a button yet, but anybody who is doing these in-level 3D title scenes, you already know you're in for something complex and interesting, because DooM is powerful. I'll give it that. By the way, all my mics and desktop and everything is working, right? Okay. I've done 2 OBS updates, which have been useful, which also means I've been playing with a lot of things, which also means I don't know if I put them back in the right place every time. But I think we're good to go. Yeah, let's get into this. Right, for those of you also just joining us, our base rules here is we're here for the exploration, not the challenge, which means I'm going to play it on the easiest difficulty, and if something really comes up that we butt our heads against, I have no qualms dropping into God mode or no clip just to push through. Castlevania music is so good. Yes! I know that boy. They did the thing. So, okay, I don't know. All right, that's good title cards. HUD. Ooh, Do we want to have this HUD up? No, we're here for the spaces, so I always play without HUDs. Good, you can do the things you want to do in this game, like whip candles. It's just such a good scene. Alright, so, okay, here's what we need to play with, because melee in first-person games is always hard to pull off, right? Always hard to get it going just right. And depth is harder in a single screen. Okay, first-person VR melee. Well, then you also have motion control. Listen, I can get into that later. But so it's a good thing they have plenty of these here, because now we can play with. What sort of distance do we get on this whip? Wow, okay, that's actually... I almost said this like 3 car lengths away, and by cars, I guess I mean Simons. That's like 3 Simons away? So that's like here? That's even man. Yo! I did check the REMI, and it did say that it expects you to have jump and crouch. So, I'm gonna go ahead and just get this going. Who did the Action Quake? Or not Action Quake. I'll play Action Quake. Some Action Quake 2. I'll play that any day of the week. You just call me up and I'll meet you at the pub with no beer. But oh, hey, little guy. I don't know how big he is. He's that big. the delay. He hit the ground, beat, and then just combusts. You know, you don't... Whenever you're playing a side-scroller, right, there's a concept that is kind of a, like a shoebox diorama kind of feel to it, right? You only ever worry about the back wall. You only ever worry about that one wall, right? Well, hey, what's up? Ooh, that feels good, actually? Oh, that feels very good, actually. But so just then thinking about it as like, okay, what does the rest of this castle look like? Because you kind of like, you get ideas about the floor and about the back wall, and everything else you kind of need to extrapolate. So when we start looking at ceiling textures, sure, why not? Oh, there's like bump mapping going on up there? Oh boy. You throw a bone at me? Of course you did, it's Castlevania. I guess now I'm gonna get back into everything I said during Action Doom about side-scrollers. You just walk until you're on a new screen. In first person, you have to break it, so using turns and doorways and whatever. So here we go. Like, this is... The courtyard was the first door, the second screen, another door, and now this hallway is our third screen, if you will. I don't know enough about like original Castlevania to know if what's going on here is like Castlevania levels like rebuilt into 3D. I'm gonna have to go back and check now, because I would love it if it's that. But yeah, here. All right, up, down, staircase. That feels like this is kind of how you have to do it to map it to 3D. Even if it's just sort of Castlevania 1 rebuilt into first person like this, but like generally layout is the same, like enemies are the same, and then Secretaria. I can't read that from out here. But also, hey, that's space. Ooh. So that's the thing, because all right, so you're breaking the view with corners, right? Oh, platforming. Yeah, bats! Oh boy. You're breaking the layout into screens through these corners, right? But I do like what he's done here. He's not just doing it. It is weird because we have this branching path, right? Because we can go left or right. I don't know what that would look like in 2D. But because it's a 3D space and he's done it this way, it does leave this room for this extra space out there. I wonder if that's real. I wonder if that's... Ooh. I guess I gotta be looking for secret switches. Castlevania, not really known for its switches? Alright. Is that... Cool. Alright. Alright, alright, alright. I was about to say, I bet somebody could do a good job making a Metroid in this sort of adapted for first-person style. That's just Metroid Prime. That's just Metroid Prime, which I started playing Metroid Prime, and I didn't... Okay, here's the thing. I hate the GameCube controller. I hate it so much. I hate it so much. I think it's a bad controller. Wow, this room actually got darker. Yo, Z-Doom engine is powerful. I'm gonna have to keep saying that. Also, now we in this whole different wing. Okay. Right, we do have sub-weapons. If I can land any of these hits. I just wanna... Ah! That's a good howl. It's still good noises in this game. Whoop. There we go. Okay, okay, okay. Stop with the bones. Oh, how are the axes gonna look? Man, this... Okay, you know what? This feels good. This feels like good as a... Even the whip, you got such a range on it that, like... Because that's kind of the interesting thing about a whip, right? Because, as far as melee weapons go, like, whips are known for having a range and being, you know, many feet long and sort of being like a ranged melee weapon. Okay, now we go. Alright, I didn't drop my old one. What does this do? About what you'd expect it to. Man, this is good. This is good. I'm gonna keep saying that as long as I think it's true. Oh, Z-Doom is a powerful engine. It is still not exactly built for jumping. Because I have to get over there. All right, is there an easy way to get over there? Is there like just like a switch I can hit to... Okay. Holding my breath that entire time. Oh yeah, maps. Oh, I didn't even look back at the entrance. Ugh. Walk back out the gate, just leave the game. Wow, okay, so then we're like leaving on a second floor, so it's gonna... Using a good, adding verticality even where not necessarily needed. Ooh. Alright, floor reflections. Okay, but is it actually reflected, or is the floor semi-transparent and it's built upside down below? Is that easier or harder to do? Might actually be reflected. Alright. It looks good. Hey, here's the thing. The whipping candles is odd because normally you just oh, that's a key. As a side, right? I died? Oh, yeah, no health packs. Oh, no checkpoints. All right, let's take it seriously, I guess. Let's stop dinking around. And knives. Oh, hey, the thing I said. See, this is where you have to ask what's behind. Oh, yeah, a bunch of people impaled. Dracula, Vlad, yeah. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. That's good that they put an amount of thought. Like, yeah, what would be there? Oh, it'd be this because it's Dracula's castle, right? What if we do play it with the HUD, right? Because it's it doesn't feel right. Just for keeping track of those hearts, right? Because okay, so like this, the sub weapons are what have ammo here, right? Right. This is what I'm saying is that normally in a Castlevania, because the sort of backplane and your the plane you exist on and the backplane are like functionally flat. That like you can move forward and get the stuff on the backplane, whereas here, because it is specifically like on, hey, like because now we paint like it still looks right like this, but in order to get this, we actually have to turn our attention and face the wall to get the candles on the wall, which means that turning our attention to the candles is pulling our view, pulling our visual knowledge away from the situation of the room, which affects when we can do it, how we're making ourselves vulnerable when we do it, and sort of turns it into basically it turns it into a task which demands more of our, you know, undivided attention, because it just like uses our it steals our attention more, you know. Not demands, Bogarts. Oh, y'all want to throw? I'll throw. I'm definitely aiming low. Okay. So some of these are good, like the like these that, whoa, hey, what's up, Bat? These that aren't far out of our way, or like even in the opening where but like no, the knives are, ow, stop it. The knives are treating me better so far. So like even in that opening space where you have wow, that's reach. The opening courtyard where it's straight in front of you, you don't have to face the wall, you can still sort of like point towards your goal, push forward, and whip the candles and collect the resources. That's kind of what you need here to actually keep it like the old feel, which is you do it as you're moving. It's like on the way in a weird sense. Is this how far I made it last time? Okay. Okay, bats. Oh, hello. I landed on the window. But yeah, that's one of those little ones where like, it's one of those moments where you gotta like stop looking at it as pure like design, location, whatever, and you have to look at it as like gameplay functionality. Because then how do you put the candles such that they... Because like kind of the way, like if you walk down the middle of the room, if you put the candles like on big sticks so that they're floating in the middle, or like have chandeliers hanging super low, then you're walking straight ahead and you're getting all your everything as you go, right? Backtracking in Castlevania feels a bit weird. Also, I want to say, according to the Remy, this is only like 7 levels. I don't know how elaborate they're all going to be, or even just sort of generally how long. But I mean, if we can haul through and see this game, that'd be cool. Oh, hey, this is that outside section. Cool, cool, cool. That's an upgrade. Yo! Yo! This is not a whip anymore. Stop. Oh, they're so small and I aim so low. What is a man? It's a miserable little pile of secrets. Good. Good. I'm glad we're all fans here. I'm glad we all like the stupid things that have been said. Oh, hey, folks. What if we just clear y'all? So, okay. In a lot of games, if you give me a melee option, I'll try to use it. That's why, people got mad at me in watching me play, oh, what was that game? Ratchet and Clank, because I would almost exclusively use the throwing wrench, even though that is a game about having lots of crazy guns. But I don't know, using melee weapons just makes me feel badass. And so what this game is setting up right here, it's definitely playing right into that, like having the projectiles are limited. The projectile, so limited in the sense that like you can't always trust that they're going to be there, I guess. Nope. Okay. Can't always trust that they're going to be there. So what you need to, you know, your best friend is your whip. That's what you need to practice with. That's what you need to get good with. But then in certain situations, you say like, ah, yes, this is a good time to spend resources. You know, you see, I'm already, yeah, I'm full on hearts. So now I'm just wasting my time whipping every candle. Unless, no, I'm not, because sometimes they'll have sub-weapons. Ah, Castlevania. What about you? Okay. Okay. No, yeah. Go into a room, this down, the bend that breaks the screen. Yeah, no, this... I'm shocked how Castlevania this feels. Right, and they come up out of the water. And they throw! Wow, and those projectiles are fast, too. Okay. Okay, mermen are scary. Because they have... They're not, oh, what was the phrase? screen. If it's not a projectile, it's not screen trace. Hit scan. That's the word. They're not hit scan projectiles, which I guess then aren't actually projectiles, but you know what I mean. Oh, please step in it. Okay. Oh, okay. So this is actually also a nice little crisscross. Okay, so that's good. That's good layout foreshadowing, because we walk in and we're forced to point at our goal, and then we just do this whole other loop to get here. Okay. I'm loving this so far, if that's not clear yet. Okay, back in the house. Get these, because we know these are full of delicious money. Please don't eat money. It's not good for you. That's my boy. Yeah. Ooh, it bounced. Ooh, it bounced. It bounced. It bounced. Whoa, hey, yo, what's up? That's a bat. Oh boy. This ain't great. Okay, that was a good hit. That was a good hit. Okay, so the ones with the upside down stars, pentagrams, those are going to be boss doors. Oh, okay. It auto loads me in here. Good. Good. There we go. I'm getting my ass whipped by this big bat. Something about the way I'm out. Something about the way that the axes just sort of like bounce off walls, very like really has a feel of like a oh right, the orb, because it's Castlevania. What a sentence that was, folks. Thanks for sticking with me. But the way that it just hits a wall and just kind of like bounces and clanks to the floor, really, if you've ever been to like a Renaissance fair knife throwing booth, it's absolutely got that feel. Also, again, adapting it to 3D, we have to ask, hey, who trapped that bat in this room? A hole in the roof would have made some sense. Or it's like, it just sort of flew in. Ooh, and it doesn't know what to do. Locks my view. Okay, sub-weapons into points. Can we not skip this noise? Ooh, please? It's not great. Oh, alright, like an acapella version. The Chappelle. Okay, so... Oh, I did keep my whip when I died. I'm sorry, I did keep my vampire killer. So, okay. I don't... Not in a Castlevania, I don't trust a pile of bones. I'm mistrusting over here. So... Castlevania Lament of Sorrow the PS2 game with Leon S. Belmont, rookie vampire killer. Oh, look at that. He is. I don't know how much people like to include that one in the canon. Ooh, elevators. Hey, it's Doom. You don't see elevators that often. Oh, yeah, platform sticking out of walls. That's the whole thing. See, okay, so a room like this, what I really like about this is it's kind of, it's tracing a really nice line between like NES side-scroller style, you know, jump on the platforms, we're going to keep going up, stuff just, you know, sticking out of the walls, you know, elevator to stairs to moving to whatever. But they are smartly taking that side-scroller and like, so far this is all like smartly like origamiing that into 3D spaces that are still interesting as 3D spaces. I was saying it in the last level, the way that it, you know, folded the screens such that it left space for the courtyard in the middle of all of that, and then we did end up going back and forth and like around the courtyard and then through the courtyard. That's all feeling really good and really smartly done. And you know, they did it with the house there, they're doing it with the tower here, like we're just kind of spiraling up around. And essentially turning what could have been like, you know, one staircase or one elevator, but turning it into that platforming challenge. So just really smartly adapting it is what I'm looking at here, what I'm really impressed by here. And even having the one in the middle here, so like again, it's creating this interesting 3D space, because it's not just, you know, wrapped along the outside wall and like just a 2D side scroller plane, but just wrapped to the inside. It's not just that. It is saying like, no, we're going to use a 3D space as well, and it's just mixing them really well. I'm going to try to point it out more, but that's just what I keep seeing. The way that it just sort of like dunk dunk. All right, say goodbye to that guy. Oh. Hey, oh, no. Do I just not know where the center of the screen is? Is that it? That's probably it. Okay, that'll be the key. So, secret wall! Wall turkey! It's got wall turkey! It's doing it right. It's doing this right. That also means I'm at full health, so let's save. Well, doesn't mean I'm at full health. Y'all. Okay, so again, taking the pattern of the enemy and adapting it into a way that makes sense. Instead of up down and jumping, it's left right, and it's still weaving, and they're still on the sinusoidal path. Rip to your statue, but I'm different. I don't. Hello. What did that do? That did that. Hello.
That was some turkey.
I don't know how to feel about that. don't have a problem with one James Rolfe, but I was not expecting to see Jim. So, what? But seeing him was the reward for finding the secret, or was the trick here being like, no, actually, what you just found was the Doom style secret. We're not here to be a Doom game. We're here to be a Castlevania game, because we just saw the actual wall turkey. They do actually do it. Maybe you're not supposed to. Oh, but that was on like the key door side, so maybe you're not supposed to. Maybe they don't expect you to encounter that one first, so that makes a little more sense. That is like, no, we're not gonna. It's in here, but it's not in this. It's not this style of secret. Also, just creating that entity seems like it had to be elaborate, you know? Some of these floating enemies that are just the, like, original game sprite work. They just feel weird because you look at the rest of these and it's like, a lot of these seem like they've been reworked, or at least are ones that I'm not familiar with. And then there's other ones just don't match. Did I just get the key? I did just get the key. Okay. So this is one of the things that I've always liked, or like I've always been curious about, because I love in a platformer where you have this sense of like bottomless pits or broken purely floating platforms, and they do kind of make no sense in terms of, oh yeah, I know that guy. They don't make sense in terms of like actual architecture and, you know, construction. But so that question of like, okay, if we're gonna turn this into 3D, how do we do that? How do we show that? What do we decide that the 2D style is represented? So, okay, so they're hiding it in the columns like that, which are also very square and like 16-bit tile set looking. 16-bit? 8-bit tile set. Well, that's an NES with like 32 by 32, so I would expect the NES to be the 16 by 16 tiles, so here, here, ow. But you know, we've talked about how like a Doom level doesn't have to. What I consider a good Doom level is one that like establishes and adheres to a pretty strict like visual language. So like it'll make it obvious the first time, and then it'll stick out, but just it makes itself subtle. So I'm curious if they've done that here. Oh, but when it bounces, it pierces. So like this one? Whipping walls, what's up? Yes, okay, that one was cracked. Okay, so... Okay. Which is funny, because that is... Like, I'm still not sure if it is because, like, video games were really, you know... Well, I mean, video games feel like they're always in their infancy because they are a medium that's always evolving as we understand the world around us more, right? That's kind of just how human endeavors go. But like, you know, the question especially when you look back at those NES games that are just sometimes complete nonsense bullshit, you go like, okay, it's time slow. Oh, that feels badass too, actually. Oh, wow. Stop. Oh, this is going bad for me. But, you know, those old games, they didn't tell you anything. Like, the classic one is Simon's Quest, Castlevania 2, where it's like, no, you gotta, like, equip this gem and then go kneel at this dead end for 30 seconds. And it's just like, it never really, like, tells you that. Or, like, it doesn't tell you that in the game, and it's just like, oh, no, we put that in the manual. Like, we'll tell them, but, like... I fell in the pit. Or it's like, we'll tell you, but, like... We're not telling you in... We're not telling you in the game... Or like it... The experience of the game isn't just what happens on screen. It isn't solely what exists in between turning the console on and seeing the credits. It's that one was nope, that's the clock. Clock is cool. Having a projectile is cooler because that jerk. Can I? Nope. But I get that there, and we'll get that, and I feel better. Okay, don't fall in the pit this time. The experience of the game is more than just what's on screen. So it's the manual, it's the box art. I feel like the, you know, not counting, you know, games that decided to lean in and have a straight up ARG, you know, the last real example of that, or like callback to that is Metal Gear Solid. And, you know, it's like, check the back of the game case to get Meryl's number. It's like whoa, like, you know, that became a subversion just because of how far away we got away from the idea of like, oh no, when you get the game, you have a manual, you check the manual, you know, you read and you learn. Like a lot about how the game works is presented outside of the game. All right, maybe more recent than that, you want to talk about, you know, Destiny 1 when they had the Grimoire cards that like you would collect them in the game, but then you had to go to the website to read them. That was a whole thing. You could have opinions about that. But like as we've sort of evolved it, we've definitely got more about like, no, everything's in the game, you know. You put a codex into... Okay, interesting. Ooh, screen check. You're like, all right, we're going to put a codex in the game, and if you want to know stuff, there's ways to find out. We put audio logs in the game, you know. Tutorial. First level to tutorial. Like, we've gotten to the point where, like, okay, we've gotten so used to, you know, the tutorial is in the game that now it's just like, okay, and a good game is one that has a button that says, I have played the tutorial before, please let me just go to level 1, you know? Weird now that I know that we are, like, not quite, but almost exclusively putting health power-ups in columns, which I guess is pretty much a Castlevania thing, too. Like, now I'm looking for this texture and this style of this texture, this wide, this column, and these places and rooms. Like, now I'm looking for these because that means that it could be another resource. Like, I'm looking for wall turkey veins. Everything's in the game, so it's we've that's why MGS worked sort of as a version, because we had gotten so far away from that already by that point that to say, yeah, no, you have to look at the game box. Like there is critical path relevant information on the game box. It was just like, whoa, that's crazy. No, we've gotten so far away, nobody expects that anymore. Which was what made that work as a subversion. Right. Where was my point? I keep distracting myself by playing the video game. This is why you're supposed to have co-pilots on this who do the talking while you do the playing. Also, I do like these broken windows. That way they can fly in, fade in. You hide the spawner outside, and it makes it feel very natural. Because, I mean, these are just like bullet bill. They're projectiles, not necessarily enemies. They don't really have a. They have a path, not an AI. They're not dynamically pathfinding. They're just doing what they're scripted to do. But they feel so much more natural just hiding the spawner and just saying, oh no, they fly in from outside. It makes it feel so natural. Here, that one. I'm going to save here, even though I know it's going to save me on the inside of the door. Okay. You don't fly, right? So I ain't worried. You're going to shoot some kind of stone beam, though. Rip to you. The piercing nature of this sub-weapon is really good because that means we're getting multi-hits. I wonder if these bosses are kind of teaching me that sub-weapons are the way to go. And then, again, a subversion is going to be, oh no, at the end when we fight Dracula, that's the vampire killer is going to be way more useful because it's a freaking vampire killer. Manual. What was I talking about with the manual? Information outside of the game, the experience of the game. Oh, I was never able to tell in these old games. Like, were they doing that because, like, games as a medium and, like, understanding their strengths was still, you know, relatively early at this stage compared to where we are today? This looks rad already. Holy cow. I want this to be the cover of my next metal album. My first metal album. I am loving this place. Like how much of it was just sort of like not, or so like not understanding how to use it as a medium. That's one option, right? Oh no! Oh, I'm dead! I'm dead! Okay. Not understanding how to use it as a medium, having hardware limitations where it was just like you know, in order to keep development on track and like fit the action in the game, we just had to decide like where is it up there, to like keep development on track and you know, memory and space limitations feasible. We had to be like, well, we're not putting, you know, 100 extra lines of text in this game to teach you how to play. We'll just put that in the manual, like a cost, ease, technical limitation that way. Again, this is good. Like a whole room that's broken so it's jumping in stairs. I love these interpretations of the NES style of the levels. They're so good. This is so good. Or, and then this is the cynic in me, which not so much on the NES era, but in the, let's say, PS1 JRPG era. Crows! Got 'em. Was like, okay, and how much of this is they're making the system of the games inscrutable and not explaining it, not making any of it obvious as a way to like push you into buying strategy guides. Because this is the thing, like, I don't think I know him. Cause like even like, cause like, let's say even if you look at the instruction manual and it says, hey, by the way, turkeys are sometimes hidden in walls because I don't know, that's how we used to refrigerate it. Just build it into the castle walls. Like I don't know, whatever, right? But to do that and then not, but then you know, make them hidden in the way where then like, yeah, no, it could be any piece of wall. But we're not going to. Whereas this one is even establishing just like, hey, no, we'll put the crack to show that you can break it, to show you that this is where they are, and like it's subtle, but it's subtle, but it's clear. You know, they never use that crack on something you can't break, so you can always tell that, you know, they are always specifically saying something when they use it. Versus the original game where it would just be like, no, they're around and we might tell you that that's where you need to look, but like we'll leave it up to you to you know, to poke and prod at every corner, every stone tile. Oh my gosh, in the game. Oh, and they did put those there to be like, no, don't just run along the walls, or maybe do just run along the walls and get good at jumping. Y'all shoot beams. There's just something I know about dragon skulls is that they shoot beams. I didn't spend 12 years at archaeological school for nothing. Dragon archaeology. Or like, yeah, so it's in, did they make it inscrutable because they you know, sort of, I guess it wouldn't be postmodern, but like, you know, the idea of like being in there, right there, being in conversation with your audience wasn't really like a concept yet? Or is it inscrutable because they were actually just like, no, we're gonna make this insane, but hey, if you want to talk to our friend Prima, he's got a book where we just tell you where they are, right? So instead of telling with some sort of, you know, communication in the game, be it visual or explicit or you know, or verbally explicit or whatever, verbally, textually, whatever. They say, yeah, no, we'll straight up tell you in this, you know, thing outside of the game, in this book, and then you just gotta go get the book, you know, because then it's deals, then it's industry, then it's. And I say like that cynic brain never really started for me until the JRPG era, because like I've played a Final Fantasy VII, I've played a Chrono Cross, and like there are parts of those games that I really enjoy, and you know, some of the stories and scenes in there can be really good for, you know, maybe being sort of rudimentarily staged or blocked or expressed or whatever, right? You know, I'm not trying to dunk on it, I'm just saying we got like 6 polys and text boxes to express this heartfelt scene, so it's gonna be a little you're gonna have to help do some of the lifting with us on experiencing it, right? Okay, but like some of those secrets, you just don't know. It's just like, hey, here's a space where you could do things in tons of different orders and open space and all of that, but like if you want to get this one thing to happen, you gotta do it in A, B, C order, and that might not even be the like intuitive order to do it in. So like, no, you don't like learn those organically. Those are things that we put in so that way you have like a it's an excuse. It's like, no, this is or at least that's the way it's always felt to me. It's like, no, this is an excuse to make it clear, like, no, you need to get the strategy guide to get this, and then you make a deal with the printers or whatever. And I still did not actually want the clock. Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, but I just saved with the clock. Whatever. What if we just book it? And I'm not, and like that makes sense when you also look at a lot of these games. You know, the arcade market came before the console market came, so, and those were very much about like yeah, we kind of want to make fun games, but also we want to look at it and go like, you know, how do we get people to keep shoving in quarters? Like it is like, you know, how do we make money on this? How do we sort of keep people happily trapped? You know, that's been an element of games. Like, you're like, yeah, loot boxes and gross. It's kind of part of the legacy of games, though. In a lot of ways, it's gross, but it's true. You know, got to deal with it. It's one of those legacies that morally we should work to get away from, I think. Not to say people's labor shouldn't be compensated with like money so they can pay rent and eat and live a life free of worry about resources. I'm not saying that either. I'm not saying all games should be free. Listen, I could get into a whole conversation about how the flow of money should be restructured. I ain't here for that today. I'm here to just get through this fog. But that's why the idea of like the idea of like make it inscrutable, make it either require a unreasonable amount of replays or, you know, additional purchases of strategy guides or whatever. That's why that makes sense to me. It's like, okay, is that the reason that they're kind of crazy like this? Okay, this one's a little clearer. This actually feels like the teaching moment because okay, there's a path over there you can follow. It's not necessarily for like aesthetic reasons. It is a challenge platforming path to get you over there into a dead end with nothing. But why would there be a path to nothing? So you figure there's got to be something there. And this one, the cracked blocks are pretty much at eye height when you look at it here. So this almost feels like it could be the teaching moment. It's like, because like now you're looking for something that isn't obvious. Now you're looking for something subtle. Now you get wall turkey. Oh, hey, buddy. Gross. Did I get the key yet? I'm looking for a key, right? Oh, hey. Okay. Where did you come from? Oh, this is skull storage. But yeah, so the thing is that cynicism struck me harder in the PS1 JRPG era, because those games are known for having, you know, tens of thousands of lines of text. Now we talking. This is the one. Yeah, this is the weapon we want to be using, baby. I can't tell if that wall has a offset pattern that's trying to tell me something or not. So the JRPGs are games where if they wanted to, you know, tell you something and make something explicit, they could. They clearly have the room to do that. I mean, okay, they are also trying to tell a long story because they want to have a long game, because there was like the arms race of like who can have the game with the most playtime, you know, time to beat, whatever. I believe that was going on at that time. Don't take anything I say as fact. Like, it's all half remembered, half heard in the first place. But like, if they wanted to tell you and come up with like a, hey, there's a way that you can learn about the secrets in the game, they could have put that in there. So it feels more like a choice to make the inscrutable things inscrutable, you know? But back in the NES era, it could go either way. It could have just been how it was done. It could have been hardware limitations. I've never been able to tell. Subscribe to Nintendo Power and we'll give you the full map. And once you have a subscription, that's a bigger upfront, and it's like a, you know, it's magazine subscriptions were the original subscription services, right? Well, maybe like utilities. You want to get water and gas and garbage removal. Those are subscription services. Weird mappings triggering in my brain today. What was that whole zone? Oh, that was the outdoors with the bridge, and it looked really cool. Like, I assume those are supposed to be armor knights, right? But armor knights throw axes, and those dudes just look... Ooh, hey. I swear those dudes just look more like... No! I mean, knives ain't bad, but... Oh, yeah. Twin mummies. This ain't gonna go well. Did I save right after I picked up the wall turkey? Because if I load that instead... I did it back here. But that's fine. I forget if there was even a reason to go up there. Because I have that already, so... Ow. Forget about it. Let's load up on everything again. That's full hearts. Got these two golden axe looking dudes. And here's food. Alright. So they're gonna spawn like here? If I can like hit these railgun shots. And get the doubles. There's one. Just keep everything bouncing. Alrighty. I didn't look down. I'm curious what's below the grate, because there's something down there. Oh, right. The noise. And I always felt like strategy guides were cheating, you know? Oh, we're down there. Oh, good juke. I don't actually believe that, like, that like strategy guides and knowledge are cheating. It feels like I'm cheating myself because I like figuring things out. Once you have the solutions in the form of a strategy guide or whatever, like, then to me, it feels less like playing and more like, okay, now I'm just following the instructions to complete the game, you know? Especially in something like again, talking about JRPGs, like, especially something like a JRPG where it was just like, actually, this is, it's like menu based, it's about text, it's just, the gameplay is sort of order of operations rather than, you know, very action, twitch based, position based sort of action gameplay. You know, Chrono Trigger's good, but it demands different skills than Contra, you know? That's all I'm trying to get at there. In a way where in Contra, even once you know what's coming, actually dealing with it is still not a given. Whereas in a JRPG, if you tell me, yeah, no, you can do A, B, C, and then this will not be an issue, then all right, then it's not an issue, and there we go. Where is this guy? There we go. Wahoo! I've been turning into a Nintendo character lately when I say things like wahoo. Alright, so that's going to be a key. Alright, see, I'm chasing candles and I'm not looking for enemies. Being on that resource grind will be my undoing. Whomst. But yeah, so but then there's also difference, like I can figure it out, but then it's that level of how unscrutable is the game making itself. Is it something that you can, like, you could reasonably expect a player to figure out, you know? Like figuring out, oh, this crack in the wall means that these are destructible and there's usually secrets. Like even if you don't have a teaching moment for that, if you are consistent to your visual language, you might be able to notice it and suss it out eventually. And so that feels like something that I wouldn't want spoiled by a walkthrough. It's something I wouldn't want explained to me. Something I'd rather learn than be taught, you know? Learning is more fun than being taught, I guess, is maybe the distinction there. At least it always has been to me. But if you can't be expected to suss it out, like, we don't have a visual language, you just have to do it this one exact way in this one exact place, and nothing in the game ever suggests that you would have a reason to do that. Like, no, you're being, like, purposely inscrutable. It's not, if there's not like a fair way to have learned it, then there should not be an expectation that you would have learned it. So yeah, no, go ahead and give me a strategy guide for that, because that's just some bull, you know? Which way? I already defeated enemies this way, so hopefully this will be clear, because I'm not feeling too healthy right now anyway. This is the door I need to leave out. Okay. This is the area I thought I was in, because I'm tired. Boy, let me tell you. It's cool. Hanging out in this cave. Nice cave. Go waterfalls. take it back. I don't like this cave. Alright, so there was one candle that had the clock. I'm going to try and skip that. Is it that one? One of these, so skip those. Missed. Okay. Mermen are scary, so let's just... Crosses are expensive. Okay. Nope, just... And the bats... This is a pretty good cave, just in the sense of, like... I don't know, like... I've played plenty side-scrollers, and there's always like, yeah, no, there's like a water level, but it doesn't necessarily... Games that have water levels aren't necessarily good at contextualizing why the water is there. Like, okay, it's a water level, but are we in a cave? Are we in a river? Are we in an aqueduct? Sonic was good. Sonic straight up puts you in a big slidey aqueduct. Hydro something zone. Right, that's where that one is. It's still a good projectile. You know what? Maybe if it's cheaper than the crosses, and I want to be leaning on throwing things right now anyway, maybe I'll stick with it. I would very much prefer to stop being hit by thrown bones. That was the villain from Mega Man Legends, right? Nice. When you get the again, just like, you know, regular Castlevania, when you get the arc on the axe down and you just start nailing shots, feels good. You feel good. You feel talented at this video game. That's kind of an interesting distinction, huh? Like, if you feel that you're talented at something, sort of like a pride and a talent, context doesn't necessarily matter, does it? If you feel talented, you feel talented. Nothing jumps out at you to say, you know, oh, well, at this video game. Right, now we crisscross. The range on this thing is ridiculous. Okay, one of these is a clock. Did the Castlevanias ever do that, or is that just those retro-styled blood-stained games that were like they color-coded their lanterns so that you knew which ones were gonna... You didn't know which power-up they were gonna drop until, you know, you got in there and had started memorizing, but it would tell you, okay, these are purple, these are going to be power-ups, these are red, these are going to be your sort of sub-weapon ammo. Alright, so instead of pushing through and getting attacked, let's go backwards. Because this is the key for this door anyway. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't even notice the swinging animated doors. That ain't Doom. That's the Doom, though. I'm just gonna We got set back really far last time, so... Those guys, they just sit on you and drain your health. Somebody's throwing things. Okay. I couldn't tell you if I've seen a red door yet. But we got the key. That's a good... Oh, I don't have a lot of health. Should I be whipping behind the waterfall? Really? This game does have fall damage. Why would you do that? That's just rude. Oh. Pressing a... No, wait. That's a curious... But not here. These are curious properties of this specific wall. That's this one? Weird. I won't lie, my eyes are burning too much to care to keep experimenting. So, I guess we want to go out through the blue. Then let's... No, that's where we came in. Is this... Okay, this is one big round area. But... There's the red door. Okay, how do we get up there? The idea that none of these enemies are like bullet sponges is really nice. It is like entirely about getting your projectile targets right, understanding the like whip footsie range, and just like knowing the enemy behaviors to sort of understand like what is a safe way to approach them, and not fully kite them, but to just be like, no, this is the safer approach, is to come at them from this angle, so that way if they do this, you can still have room to dodge or whatever. I'm appreciating that. The bosses are kind of bullet spongy, but like, they're bosses. I get it. We talked about how bosses are hard to design really interesting ones that aren't just bullet sponges, and they've done so much work on this and making the rest of this really like port Castlevania well to a new perspective and what have you. Like, I'm happy to give them the leeway on that. How do we get up there? Here? Okay. These things aren't health. Okay. Okay. Hey, sometimes you kind of just, you don't get the jump, you know? Somebody around the corner coming up. Here. Dang it. Here. Okay. Gosh, and now that you really have to, or I feel I really have to, like, whip the candles, then examine what falls out to make sure that I'm not, you know, downgrading from my preferred sub-weapon. This resource grind of, like, check candles. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Okay, now I feel better. Alright, red door. I'm not a big fan of the cave. Like, the fog's alright. It's fine like, as far as, like, for what it is, I think it is well designed. It is, like, mechanically, like, pathway unique from the previous levels we've seen. The tone is different, between the use of fog and just, like, the way in which it is maze-like. How do we go from a cave to this? I'm not upset. I'm just confused. Oh no! Paratroopers! Here! Oh. Okay. Okay. You can. Oh, you know what? The knife would be easier on them. You get that spread so you don't necessarily have to lead the target. You don't have to worry about doing your trigonometry on your arc. Get. How are we feeling? Not bad. Oh, hey, yo! It's the 4th of July over there. Okay. What is that? Just going nuts. I guess I'll be approaching sideways. Oh boy. Not a fan. Oh, it's the, like, above the door bone dragon. Really? There we go. Hitting it on the bounce, but hitting it. Hey, listen, hits is hits. Can't always be picky. Alright, just an outside section. Cool. Okay, one of these I expect would end up being a weapon because they would do that to me. It's not. Okay, so what do I know? Oh! Boy, those are just like straight up the lab tables from Symphony, huh? They look good though. They look good? I do like when you kind of just take a sprite and put it in a 3D room so you can walk up to it, even if it always turns to face you. Looks good. It looks good. I like how it looks because it looks good. Anything I can get. Listen. Some levels seem longer to you than the last couple? Or am I just getting more tired as the day goes on? Yeah, them! That's the one that gets multiple hits. Handled. Yay! Load me up on hearts. I'll go back to that first hallway to get all these. Now that I've got a really nice sub-weapon to play with. Yellow key. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is... One more? Somebody's throwing bones. It's like Emperor's New Groove over here. Ah, somebody's throwing bones. That's a miss. Here. Okay. Those are Fleamen. 1, 2. Okay. I can just get over here. We can jump in this game. Big money. No whammies. Yep. Here we go. I was gonna say door on one side, but they put another side. Yeah, okay. We feeling pretty good after that. We're looking for a yellow key. Oh, hey, a yellow key. Ah, what? No. Rude. Okay. God, really, the range on those little dudes. They're close. Enemies in video game are closer than they may appear. What? What was that noise? You know, you just start throwing stuff for fun. Ooh, got him though. Okay. Listen, I'm low on health, so I'm spooked right now. I don't have a machine gun, but I'll just start dumping whatever I got. That noise. Oh, okay. So like just here? No, here? It doesn't go that far. Interesting. So all right, I took a hit. Probably could have been trying to do a bank shot there off the side wall, but boss fight. Okay, that's... I feel pretty good going to a boss with that much health. And I've already saved, so if I pick up a weapon like that, it doesn't matter. Good. Peace. Let's just go. Let's just go. What do we got? We're getting through this. Don't! Little guy, rough! Why he jump so much? Hey, real quick, why he jump so much? This ain't going well. Because he's not real until after he throws the switch anyway. He's also throwing knives? Do I want knives? I want knives because I want the spread. So let's actually go get that knife. That's actually the smart move. Also, I bet they're cheaper. Welcome to the knife fight lab. I might cheese this one. Because I can't even tell when I'm hitting that little dude. And when I say cheese, I do just mean cheat. I do just mean cheat. Or maybe this is where we'll take a break for today, you know? Is he adorable? This is actually a pretty interesting fight. Because they're... compared to the mummy fight we just had, which was just like, oh, well, there's two guys. This one is definitely like... having their difference in speed. Like, you can't kite them at the same pace. You can't kite them at the same pace, and so you can't, like they give you asymmetric pressure, which makes them a threat. Because you have to, like, switch your defenses depending on whether they're close, whether they're far. Which one is the near and far threat, because they move and attack at different speeds and like different levels of tracking. Or do I only need to defeat the monster and the flea man is just there for that? Basically, it's just an option for the monster. It is! Okay! Oh, that was neat! That was a well-designed boss fight. So here I am thinking the Flea Man is the bigger pressure, but I don't even know if that Flea Man had a health box. I may have been wasting my time when I was shooting at him. That was cool. Sorry, Dr. Flea Man. Flea Man's monster. The Flea Man is the monster. Where are we at? How much we got? Do we only have 2 left? Normally... Oh. This is fun. You know what? This is a good place to stop, is what this is. Because this looks cool as hell, but I'll be honest, my eyes are burning a little bit, and I don't know how much longer this is going to take, but this will give me for a, we can maybe have like a cool short episode next time where we finish this, because this is interesting. It's not perfect, but this is kind of what I was talking about, where you have your gimmick, you do your interesting thing, and you get out. And these levels aren't too long on their own. If I wasn't doing it for a show and I could spread it out over the next couple of hours, the rest of the night, yeah, I would sit and play this in one stretch. But they're doing such a good job of the porting of the side scroller to the 3D space and having it work as both. It's so impressive to me. Like, maybe better than what Golden Souls was doing, because then again, Golden Souls was also trying to push the like Mario 64, which was already a 3D platformer, so it's not quite the same. It would just happen to be using a lot of the visual language from the earlier games. You know, we had the 3 sprite set, the Yoshi's Island sprite set, textures, what have you. But this one is like very there, but with some very smart adjustments made. That's really cool, and I can't wait to finish it next week. And I'm gonna say that's gonna do it for today's show. So until next week, stay home, wear a mask, wash your hands, raise the voices of those being oppressed. Remember that neutrality isn't real. If you think you're neutral, you're siding with the oppressor. And the rule that underlines all of the rest of these rules is take care of one another. Don't forget, I'm going to be doing an extra live stream. I'm going to remind people at the start of every show until it happens. Hope to see you there, and I hope to see you next week. Take it easy, everybody. Uh-oh. Hey, OBS, we good?